Hi, everyone. This is Miss Griffith once again. I am here for you today with a social emotional lesson. This lesson is going to involve us taking a look at some information and then looking and coming up with how the people in that situation might feel. It says, helping others activity to the rescue. This activity will help you think about how other people may be feeling. Look at the picture below and read what it says about what's happening. The red arrow lets you know which character to focus on. If you were right there in the room, what could you say to make the situation better? In this picture, it looks like a school hallway. We have Serena here, and we have Riley. It looks to me that there are some books that were in Riley's hand that are no longer in her hands. The red arrow is on Riley, so we are going to focus on Riley for the purpose of this. It says Serena knocked the books out of Riley's hand. Serena knocked the books out of Riley's hand. Riley might feel, in order to think about how someone is feeling, sometimes you can put yourself in their shoes. So to my Silverdale students watching, imagine you're carrying something down the hallway and someone intentionally knocks it out of your hand. How would you feel? I'm going to say that Riley or yourself might feel upset. I wrote, Riley might feel upset that her books were knocked down. Now it's asking, I can tell because. So in using the picture and to think about my students being put in this situation, how could I tell how Riley or my students are feeling? One way to tell how someone is feeling is to look at their face. And looking at Riley's face, she has a surprised or upset look on her face. She is not smiling, so she's not happy during this. I can tell how Riley is feeling by looking at her face. Riley might feel upset that her books were knocked down. I can tell because I looked at her face. Riley might feel better if I said, so if Riley is feeling upset because her books are knocked down, how could I make her feel better? Well, if her books are on the floor, it might make her feel better to help her pick up the books. Riley might feel better if I said, do you want help picking those books up? Whenever there is a situation or a scenario where someone is upset, there's normally something that can be said or done to make that person feel better. Our new situation, this is the picture. So in looking at the picture, here is Sid. So Sid is drinking out of a water fountain. And there's Eugene. Eugene is very close to Sid. The caption says, Eugene accidentally bumped into Sid while he was drinking from the water fountain. Sid's face got all wet. We are going to focus on how Sid might feel. So remember, this is Sid here. He's drinking from the water fountain and suddenly his face becomes all wet. Sid might feel Sid might feel surprised or shocked that his face is wet. I can tell because. So remember that you can usually tell by someone's face or their facial expressions how they are feeling. And looking at Sid, I can tell he wasn't expecting his face to become all wet from the water fountain. I could help the situation if I said, so I want to think if I was seeing this situation or scenario happen, how could I help Sid? Maybe the nurse has a towel or something to dry his face off. I could help the situation if I said, let's go to the nurses and see if we can get your face dried off. So remember, in situations like the two that we've talked about today, it's important to recognize how others may feel, and it's important to ask yourself if there's anything you could do or say to make that person feel better.